power plays were 6-1. How much do you feel like that played a role in tonight's outcome?
Yeah, you want to be at least even, or getting more on the advantage than you are killing. So, yeah, it plays a role, and so. At the same time too, it's I think it's when you do have to kill penalties, like I think it's something where it's still early, I think parts of our game, and it's an area that we're going to continue to work to improve. But
Do you feel like you were the better team 5-on-5?
there was a lot that I liked 5-on-5. I thought there was some times there where it was really like the momentum seemed like it was changing from shift to shift. I think we can control that a little bit better. It's not a game where we want to be, I think in the second period just trading chances. But I thought there was definitely some parts of the 5-on-5 game that we're going to take away, and we want to continue to build on.
I felt like your PK was caved in a lot of the night. Did you see some things you didn't like? Maybe you had to go back to the drawing board in some areas.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think we're going to be evaluating and trying to improve, all parts of our game throughout the entire year. But when you're early in the season, especially, with special teams, I think, there ends up being a lot of focus in on that and things that, you want to be ironing out. And so I think we're still in that process. I think you could say that on both sides of it. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of power play opportunities tonight, but it's something that we're going to, I think look to, make whether it be adjustments or just continuing to work on some of the details behind it. We were in zone a lot. I think that ends up being part of it. We want to make sure we're limiting how much time we are spending actually in zone.
The costly delayed game penalty at the end, you look at that as an avoidable penalty, something that shouldn't happen, especially at that stage in the game?
These things, they happen. I think Parker was playing had a really strong game. Obviously those types of situations, that's the rule. You want to avoid them. But overall, I think he had a strong game, and it's unfortunate that we're killing a penalty at that point in the game, and that we didn't kill it off.
Were you surprised at how the game was called? Some of the early power plays that were maybe up for interpretation. Were you surprised at any of that?
Right now, I'll make the statement. I'm not going to comment on not just now or throughout the year, on the officials or anything like that. It's a road I'm not going to go down.
And you put a couple of new defensemen in the lineup tonight with Matt and Connor. How do you assess their performance?
I think it's solid. I think it's something we're going to go back and watch the tape. And it's these guys, first real, first regular season game opportunity. And so, I think on both sides of it, there's some things that were good. Obviously, it's an adjustment. I think having not played for a little while, we knew that coming in. I thought both guys competed hard. I thought both guys had some positive moments there.
I thought the game settled down in the third period. Were you actually liking how the third period was going until the very end? Does that make this one a little more frustrating?
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of our 5-on-5 game that I liked a lot tonight. There's areas that I feel like we've been talking about that we were seeing improvements in. We want to come out with points, and we didn't tonight.